My boyfriend refused to take me on dates unless I did something special for him in bed. When I said no, he embarrassed me in the worst way possible. For 2 years my boyfriend forced me to do things I never wanted to do in bed, and everyone tells me I could sue him in court for what he did. He was the kind of guy who would never take me out on dates unless I begged him to go out for over a month. And when we did go out, we had to split the bill 90/10, and that's only if he offered to pay. But most of the time I'd pick up the bill and he'd hug me from behind and kiss my neck as I paid, like I was doing him a favor. Not only that, things were very transactional in our relationship. If I made him take me on a date, I would have to do something for him in return. After our date, no matter how much I pleaded and cried now, he kept insisting that I wore a gimp mask, the kind where it deprives you of your senses, not allowing you to see or hear anything. I didn't want to resort to that for intimacy. It felt dehumanizing, but he insisted it was normal for relationships to explore their freaky lives. The kicker: he would show me videos of his ex wearing the mask and doing it with him. He showed me all of those videos of him raw dogging her silent, lifeless-like body. He would always point out how in the videos his ex was in all these different positions because she made sure never to get fat and told me that I needed to watch my figure. I have self-respect falling out of my booty hole already, but there was something about his insistence in telling me to lose weight and to keep my weight off that became my final straw. Any normal person would leave him, but frankly, I was broken. I ended up going against his wishes and started eating more to cope with my feelings. In a way, eating and gaining weight was some sort of subconscious escape from my abuser. If I got fatter, eventually he would just leave me alone. At a certain point, he must have noticed my stretch marks cause he didn't talk to me for 2 weeks. During those weeks I thought I'd be more prepared to be ghosted by him, but I ended up sleeping and eating more to numb the pain and to make the time pass by faster. In that time I gained 10 pounds, that's bad. As a result, my clothes started fitting tighter. All my crop tops had my pudgy belly sticking out, my jeans could barely go past my thighs, and my face was bloating up like a balloon. When my boyfriend finally visited, he wasted no time in calling me fat. He told me that my body was the only good thing about me, and I had managed to lose it in just 2 weeks. Safe to say that did not motivate me at all to lose the weight. Instead, I would stare at myself in the mirror, cry about my weight, and then proceed to devour a chocolate cake like my life depended on it. 2 weeks later, the only things that fit me were oversized pajamas, and my boyfriend would come over to tell me that I was a useless cow, and I needed to sign up for the gym if I wanted him to love me again. When I told him that I just wasn't myself because I was so mentally drained from our relationship, he said, "I can't have sympathy for you." To be honest, it messed me up hearing that from someone I thought loved me at some point. When I asked him why he felt nothing for me, he said it was because he could be out effing some bimbo, but instead he was dealing with my fat butt. It felt like I was in this constant loop of being berated, overeating, and crying about my weight gain. A month later, I actually had to buy new clothes because I couldn't keep reusing my pajamas, and wearing anything that made my fatness obvious made me want to off myself. Soon after, my boyfriend invited me over to his house and said he was preparing a special meal to make up for his behavior. I wish somebody had told me to not trust anything an abusive person says, because nobody should have to go through what I did on that day. I decided to put my insecurities aside and wore a red dress I knew my boyfriend liked. Even though it was tight around my rolls and my arms looked like buffalo wings, and it took me 30 minutes just to get the dress on, I was willing to push through if it meant my boyfriend was happy. When I got to my boyfriend's place, he told me that he knew how much I loved food lately, so he cooked lasagna for me to enjoy. I couldn't believe it, but it seemed like my boyfriend was turning over a new leaf. I was so happy at that moment, and it gave me hope that this relationship might work out after all. That was until my boyfriend asked me if I liked the food after I had eaten it all. I told him that I did, and he let out the loudest laugh ever. For a minute, he was just pointing and laughing at me, as he tried to catch his breath. I didn't know what was so funny, and when he saw my confused face, he told me that I had eaten lasagna with dog food in it, and he did that so that I could stop eating so much. I remember running to the bathroom to stick my fingers down my throat and throw up. I heard him laughing from the bathroom, and I knew that if I didn't leave right now, it would be impossible for me to leave ever again. So, I told him he could F those bimbos he had been thinking about because I was dumping him. When I got back home, I decided to make a change and lose the 30 pounds I had gained. I started working out, took Avi Collagenic Elite pills, and fixed my eating habits. The pills helped subside my appetite so I wasn't eating for a family of 4 every day. As the days went by, I didn't see a reason to eat dessert all the time. I decided to cut out sugar, so that meant soda was off the table, and I stuck to drinking water with every meal. Since I had already experienced what my breakup would be like, I was just focused on reinventing myself and leaving the past behind me. I realized that it was easy to make my portions of food smaller and back to what they used to be. I just had to know when to stop eating. So if I accidentally got more food than I could handle, I just saved it for later instead of trying to eat it all. The Collagenic Elite pills also helped to speed up my metabolism, so while I was at the gym, I was shedding weight faster than everyone there. I always came out of the gym sweating like a pig, but it was better than stuffing my face like a pig. I also found out that cutting out sugar, along with the collagen in the Avi Collagenic Elite pills, helped my face clear up. I didn't have huge skin problems, but now I had glassy skin. The real test came when I was putting on my old clothes. I nearly cried when everything fit me like it used to, because in 3 months I had lost all 30 pounds. But my body looked better than before. I had curves and even abs from the exercises I was doing. I found myself staring at myself in the mirror, being happy about what I looked like now. When I went out with my new body, I got reminded of what it's like to be pretty. I wore a slim dress to show off, and everyone's eyes were drawn to me. Some guys flirted with me and asked for my number, Even girls my age were telling me I was pretty. I didn't know if I felt happy because I left my scumbag boyfriend and found out there were better men out there, or if I was happy because working out and using the Obvi Collagenic Elite pills had given me the best body and confidence I could ask for. But the craziest part was when I posted photo dumps on Instagram, and my ex-boyfriend sent me heart eyes emojis and asked me to come over. I never had the chance to reject him before, but it was sweet getting to tell him to F off and blocking him.